Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me for another Saturday edition of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from. Of course, today is Saturday, guys. It's March the 23rd, 2019. Foul year of our Lord, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic out there. We are going to be talking about the breaking report from the Bitwise. Just hashtag the Bitwise. Anyways. The Bitwise investment marketing group. We're going to be talking about the report from them about how 95% of Bitcoin spot trading volume is fake. Now, listen, there's a lot of sentiment about this out there. Everybody is kind of talking about this. So we naturally have to talk about it and weigh in with our own 2 bits. One of the things that we like to do on this channel, one of the things that we do here at Cracking Cryptocurrency is not repeat news headlines. We actually give you genuine, original information to the best of our ability. So I think there's a lot that's lacking in this report, but overall, I want to give my thoughts. I think that the purpose of this report is to bolster the case for an American ETF. So from that lens, I'm totally cool with it. If they're like, hey guys, we got to do this, this, and this to get this ETF approved and start getting this normal retail money in here to start getting Bitcoin ETF money from the 401ks, I'm down, okay? Because listen, as a long-term believer in Bitcoin, nothing would make me happier than to see significant signs to see new markets open up for Bitcoin, especially ETFs, especially managed funds, especially mutual funds, everything of that nature, anything associated with cryptocurrency. I don't even really care if it's Ripple at this point in time. It's all good to go. Because that will overall be good for the market. As a trader, I want volume and volatility. So we do have to wear, me personally, I have to wear 2 different hats. So myself as a trader and myself as a believer in Bitcoin. They're kind of 2 different roles that you do have to kind of switch in and out of, but it's not too bad. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And since the gander trades, we'll be good, man. All right, let's say hello to the chat. I see Bitcoin Millionaire. Let's go, man. Third Eye Trader. Wow, Saturday. Yes, we are here. 7 days a week. We're kind of like 7-Eleven, man. We're not always open, but we're always doing business. Ninja Sloth, what's going on, man? Stream Elements, always here. Good to see you there. Going well. Jasper, what's going on, my good dude? Nice. See you checked the article I posted yesterday or today? Yes, of course, man. We always look at what you're talking about, my dude. 95% is not fake. I love this talk. Negative news is price rocket. We all know that. Dun, 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 dun. I actually consider it positive news. In fact, I would consider it in the same realm as all the other positive news that has been coming out. So I don't want to say that I'm contrarian on Bitcoin's price just because of all the positive news. It is just another factor. Mainly my negativity or my bearish bias on Bitcoin's price action does come from not fundamental analysis, but from technical analysis, which is, as a trader, I am a technical trader. I'm not a fundamental analyst when it comes to trading. I think that stuff doesn't work. I really don't. I think it's fantastic if you want to invest like Warren Buffett, if you've got a 30-year time frame. But me, I'm trying to retire in 30 years. I'm not trying to set up investments that are going to last 30. Well, it's not absolutely true because I do have long-term investments and long-term holdings. But anyways, as somebody who relies on the market volatility to make my daily bread and butter, man, we're good on all this. Quinn Berry, Bitcoin needs to go down to $3,600, please. Only so Quinn Berry can fill his bags. That's the only reason. What's going on? Crew CIT, I am still shorting Bitcoin and today opened a big short for XLM. What's going on? Bitfinex Trader, what's going on, my good dude? Will Thornton, Bitcoin Y, XLM. Khalil Crypto, good to see you, my good dude. Busted out my good pen and favorite notepad. So much to learn every time. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Andrew Munn says, wash trading. Well, I just did my laundry. Tide Pod's on sale. Use the Tide Pod. It's less mess. Stephen I, good evening, man. News is news. All attention. I didn't tweet. We're live. We're gonna have to aim that. We're gonna have to aim that angry gun at Scott. We're gonna get that fixed here in a few days. Don't worry about it. We've got some stuff upcoming and coming in. All right, so. Let's start off with that. Let's go over here to the news and stats channel, guys, and let me know if the background music is too loud. I think, I was thinking about that because we are a more serious show. We're not just your average hipster, not a hipster, your average like hipster streaming type thing, right? So I do like the background music. For my personal preference, we've got some good gems in here. Like some of these current tracks are a little too clubby, a little too poppy. I like more like lo-fi chill hop, but we're gonna get all that worked out. So let me know if they're too distracting, but anyways, it does help me concentrate. So we're just getting right into this, guys. So this is the tweet from at Bitwise Invest. You guys can go check this out. I'll go ahead and drop this link in the chat. Use the Thread Reader app unrolled. Post this in the chat because I'm terrible at posting them in the description. Let's see here. I heard something about Mt. Gox, though, that they're going to refund a lot back to the people what belonged to them finally. On and off, man. Don't look at ADA if you suffer from... Don't look at ADA. Anyway, so Bitwise Invest has created a 226 slide presentation that they have given to the SEC. Now, I do want to go on. Let's just start this off with the fact that I do think in totality, I think this is positive. While I don't agree with everything that's come out of this report, and while there is a lot lacking, as we'll see if you guys just go to the Twitter comments on this, I mean, everybody's blah, 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 blah. Of course they're going to do that, man. And this is why I stay away from fundamental analysis. Not only because as a trader, guys, if you want to trade the cracking cryptocurrency way, you want to, it's the most important thing. Okay, so we talk about this all the time. The most important thing when it comes to trading, money management, okay? If you lose 20% of your trading account, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't, like, in less than a year, okay? You're going to have to average Warren Buffett's annual return to make that 20% back, all right? In fact, you're gonna have to do more than that because you're gonna have to make 25% to earn that 20% back. So money management is the absolutely most important thing. Trading is the long game. We're setting up for the long game, okay? I've talked about many avenues. If you're a small capital trader and you're learning the skill of trading, you're learning a skill that is going to be a career for the entire life that's going to set you up for the rest of your life. And if you do become a successful trader, if you listen to the comments and opinions that I try to throw out these pro tip nuggets in every channel or in every episode, all the time in the Discord, guys, for the premium members. If you do elevate yourself out of that 99% of traders who lose money and get yourself in that 1% of traders who are profitable, there are going to be opportunities out there for you. It doesn't really matter how much money you have. If you shop your skills as a trader around, you're going to find the right people. And when it comes to cryptocurrency and when it comes to Forex, you don't need any fancy license to manage people's money. If you are a profitable trader and you can show that, not through a spreadsheet, but through an account statement, right? Just show somebody that, hey man, I can make 15, 20, 30% a year in this market. There are going to be opportunities out there for you. So think of the long game. Think of the long game. Don't focus on the short game. Money management, absolutely critical. Okay. Psychology is the next important thing. Entries and exits, and overall so entries and exits is actually the third most important thing. So you've got money management, risk or psychology, and then entry and exits. So most of what you're going to see on every channel is absolute obsession with entry and exits. And of course they're important. Of course, we are heavily focused here on getting the right entry at the right price for a trade, selling at the right price, entering at the right price. Because of course we do want to maximize our success, but with the right money management strategy, and this is a standing bet. I mean, I'll take this with anybody. I'll take my money management strategy and flip a coin, whether I go long or short at any given time, and you have your whatever advanced multiplier, fucking 20 indicators on your chart, fucking mass depth news aggregating entry and exit analysis, and I'll mop the floor with you at the end of the year. My equity curve will grow, and your equity curve will go. It's just what I've seen in years of doing this. So, but so many people, and this is part of psychology. So pay attention to this, guys. So many people are obsessed with adding wins onto their trade record, right? Adding wins to their trade journal, okay? Now that's important because you need wins to grow profitably. But for the majority of you watching this, the biggest thing that you can do right now is start taking losses off of your trade journal. You start taking those L's off, right? That way that if you start doing that, because I'm sure a lot of you probably have a lot of L's on your trading journal that are holding you back. If you are keeping a trading journal like you should be. So what you need to start doing is stop doing the wrong things. That is as equally as important as adding the right things into your trading strategy, is start eliminating everything that is holding you back from getting the results that you want from trading. And in my opinion, one of the things that are going to do that is by not listening to news insofar as it might affect your trading strategy. Don't trade the news. Do not trade the news. Why? Because if you're going to trade the news, that's going to take up a lot of time. You're going to be monitoring the news all the time. You're going to be waiting for the latest news to go. You're going to jump on a news price, or you're going to jump on price when a positive news report comes out, and you don't know, you're flipping a coin, whether price is going to react in the direction that you expect it to based on the news report. Positive news comes out, price could do three things, up, down, or sideways, right? You don't know which way it's going to do. So you're basically flipping, you're not even flipping a coin, you're rolling a three-sided dice. Do such things exist? Are there three-sided dice? I only played D&D for like 6 months, and I never saw a three-sided dice. I mean, I suppose you could take like a D20. Anyways, we're getting complicated here. What's going on? What's going on, Matt? Good to see you in here, brother. 20 orders. 20 orders. at 150,000 just bought. Nice. Okay, lost my train of thought. Right. So news, fundamental analysis, all that stuff, it falls into the basket of noise, in my personal opinion. Take that noise out of your trading. The chart will tell you everything you need to know. Now, there are some pretty cool tools that we have in cryptocurrency, but again, you want to add those in as confirmation indicators, right? You're going to view them in exactly the same way as I view Wada-Atar explosion for time transformation. It is a confirmation indicator. It only exists for you to confirm your primary entry indicator or your primary entry analysis, right? Whether that is price action analysis. And I've talked about the dangers, and there's big pros and cons if you want to be a price action trader, okay? The big pros are when you're right, if you're good at it, you're going to be able to get amazing entries and amazing exits. Massive pro. You're going to be able to post the most beautiful charts on crypto Twitter. You're going to be able to post the most amazing setups in the Discord, okay? You're going to be able to just rock it, dude. You're going to be a champion, okay? There are big pros, okay? The highest risk to reward you could possibly get, right? And again, I am a reversal trader. There's some cons to price action trading, okay? There's some cons to price action trading. Without really good tight money management, you're going to blow out your account really fast. There's another huge con with price action analysis. It's very subjective. You can look at, we could look at the chart and we can talk about, oh, this is a liquidity run. This is a supply and demand run. This is a drop in open interest that's significant enough to affect trading. Well, this is a significant longs to shorts ratio. All those different things of price action, well, really those last two things weren't really price action analysis, but they're pretty common. Bruno Solier, do I consider order books to be noise? In general, yes, but I do know profitable traders who will do order book analysis, right? But again, one thing that you have to be aware of is spoofing, and you have to have a strategy that is in place to overcome that. So, am I an order book trader in cryptocurrency? No. When I used to trade E-mini lots, or NASDAQ futures or things like that, I would do order book trading because you're talking about a super tight spread. You're talking about small deviations over time because basically you're playing a ranging market. Back there in 2013, basically during the summer, it was like the summer doldrums, and the SPY and the minis, like they didn't move at all, right? So we are definitely trading. There's some great traders who have taken advantage of this, built really advanced tools to trade the order book, to look at order book analysis. It's not my style because it takes too darn long for me. I don't need to do all that. I don't need to do any of that stuff to get the results that I need. I trade the 8-hour chart. I look at the chart 3 times a day, and I decide whether I need to update my positions. Now, I have other tools that I've built, other traders that I work with that can keep me informed on the smaller time frames. ISOPARM, thank you so much for liking my Wada-Atar Explosion Lazy Bear script. Modified Lazy Bear script. Again, full credit goes to Lazy Bear for designing that. All I did was remove a line of code that can make you use it on altcoins. If you guys can go over to TradingView/u/cracking cryptocurrency if you guys want to get access to all my indicators that are for public release. There are some that are only available to premium subscribers. So yes, kind of on fire today. Had a lot of stuff that I did today. So now that we're how far are we? We're like 35 minutes into the show, man. But Bruno Solier, thank you so much for your $5 donation. Just to carry that on a little bit more, order books you can develop a strategy to trade order books, but just be careful that you're wading into the realm of subjectivity. And kind of the pros and cons are going to be right there with that price action analysis. The big con for price action analysis is you're going to be entering into the realm of subjectivity. And unless you have a very clearly defined structure, and for price action, it's harder to do this. Now, I respect the hell out of very good price action traders because I would like to think that I am one, right? I've looked at the chart long enough. I used to live in the 5 and the 15-minute chart when I traded Forex, for example. That's not exactly true. I lived in the 5 and the 15-minute chart when I traded E-mini futures. When I took that same approach to Forex and was not getting the results that I wanted for the first year or so. Then I switched over to trend trading strategy on Forex. So that's what I traded there for several years, is just a trend trading strategy. Very comfortable with that. In fact, we've talked at length about I've gotten such demand to go back and trade Forex, not only from the viewers of this channel, that we're kind of toying around with that. What you want, ideally, if you are... So I'm just going to assume that for most of you watching the show that you're and don't take this offensively, but I'm going to assume that there's elements to your strategy that you want to improve. that most of you are probably not getting the results that you want right now. And for those of you who have been watching the show for a while, and I know this from the messages that I get in the Discord, from the emails that I get, from the conversations that I have with all the members in the Discord, especially with the premium group members, that being in this community and watching the show, and especially joining the members group, has seen them change from starting to take the L's off their books, starting to put the proper money management in place so that they're not bleeding capital out, and actually starting to see gains in their portfolio. What's my train of thought? So what you want to do, though, and I've talked about this many times, is develop an if this then that strategy. If you are struggling, and this is kind of the problem that I have, I feel bad, like when people post a lot of charts and technical analysis in the Discord and stuff, like all I can respond with is this how you enter every single trade? Because I'll see trend lines, I'll see Fibonacci's, I'll see RSIs, I'll see stochastics, I'll see all this stuff, right? Especially drawings on charts, which is really subjective stuff. And I'll go, okay, explain to me, and this is kind of the back and forth I have with somebody I consider to be a very good friend, who is actually a talented price action analyst, but unfortunately, I think that he personally suffers from drawdown on his account because of this. He's amazing at analysis, but all that amazing analysis, when you step into hitting that button, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a system that is consistently the same every single time, right? That's why, it's taken me a long time to get to this method, where I just have to look at the chart very few times a day and know exactly what I want to do. It doesn't take me long at all to figure out exactly what I want to do. It's... Norbert says, I just buy low and sell high. It's that simple. Duh, man, of course. Andrew Munn says, where's the dog? I got the window open, so it's possible that the neighborhood's a little noisy right now. I apologize if it is. FET USDT and IOST USDT if possible. Yeah, man, if we get a chance, we'll check those out. So now that we're like 45, how much time does your positions take? Mustafa From. So I answered that the other day for the question of the day. So the way that my strategy goes is, at some point in time when I take a trade, I take 50% of my profit off the table and I adjust my stop loss to break even. That's the most happy time of the day, because at that point in time, the trade has become a win. I've won money. There's no way I can lose money. And the only question left is, how much money am I going to make? Because I got half of my position left to ride. And if that thing goes on a tear, like some of our positions do, because you never know when it's going to go on a tear or not. When they go on a tear, it's like, hey, hell yeah, man. Now, generally, lately, with the market being the way that it's been, I always do like to set optional take profit targets. Depending on the volatility of the market, I'll either have those set as hard limit sells. But in general, you want to let your position ride for as long as possible, because it's going to be those big trends that you're able to catch that are really going to add those huge profits to your account. And that's the reason that we want an if this then that strategy, guys, because here's the thing. When you're following an if this then that strategy, there are going to be times in the market when you're going to get bounced around, right? You're going to enter at the worst times if you're following an if this then that strategy, and you're taking every signal that your strategy gives you, right? You have to. You're not allowed to be subjective with an if this then that strategy, because you as a human are dumb. The strategy that you design, however, is going to be much smarter than you, because it's going to be robotic, right? And you can analyze over time, over 6 months and a year. Is this strategy really good? And that's why it's really important, before you implement any strategy, you need to back test. You need to back test it extensively, and you need to forward test it. And that's why over the last year or so, I've become really, in my opinion, I'm just okay. I've got a lot to learn still, because I'm not a programmer by nature, but I've become pretty intimately familiar with PineScript, and I've just now started publishing my indicators. Mr. Ether, what's going on, my good dude? But if the subject, I'm assuming you mean subjective stuff. Christian Zeladon asks, but if the subjective stuff is being used by market movers, would it not make sense to see what they might be using to analyze the general chart? Sure, but the thing is, you're not a market mover, right? You're not going to move the market, right? The market movers exist to fake you out, right? So you're not going to be able to trade like they're going to be able to trade. You can try, but again, you're entering into the realm of subjectivity, okay? Because again, they're not subjective in the way that they move the market. They have an if this then that strategy. When volume is like this, because they have an advantage that you don't, right? They can actually see, because generally market makers work for the exchange. They're actually able to see who's on what side of the trade. They can actually see the positionings and who's exactly where. And they trade just like the big banks do in Forex, right? When they get everybody on one side of the position or a majority, they're going to take the trade the other way, and they're going to grab everybody's liquidity and move the market the other way. So you cannot be a market maker unless you are one. And if you're a market maker watching the show, hey man, shout out to you. You're probably not going to like this video. All this stuff like beat the market makers, trade like the market makers, that stuff works, kind of, but it kind of works sometimes. But it's very subjective. And in general, if you start out down that path without an if this then that strategy, again, this is just coming from my own personal experience and the feedback that I've gotten from people that have tried to go down this route. And again, my own personal experience in this journey. You generally don't get the results that you want. At the end of the year, your account is not larger. At the end of the year, your account is generally smaller. That's why if you don't have an if this then that strategy, the first thing you need to do is get rid of everything else that's not if this then that. Find a set of indicators, find a set of analysis that will give you entry and exit signals that you're going to follow religiously every single time without questioning them. And then backtest that strategy extensively. Backtest it for weeks, backtest it for months. Try different indicators, try different settings, try different time frames until you find the exact strategy that works for you that's going to give you enter now, enter now, enter now, enter now, sell now. And you're going to follow it every single time. And you know by following that strategy, it's profitable. Why? Because you've put in the time and the grind to test that strategy extensively. If you're just jumping in there, hey man, I'm going to try this a little bit. Oh, that didn't really work. I'm going to try this a little bit. You're not going to get the results that you want. You need to put in the grind. You need to put in the time. So let's get over to this Bitwise Invest. So they filed a 226 slide to the SEC on behalf of the ETF filing. So again, this is all going into the basket of ETF research, right? So they did a first of its kind analysis on order book data. Woo-hoo-hoo! From 81 exchanges reporting over $1 million in BTC volume on CoinMarketCap. Now, we all know, hopefully we know, there's been a lot of back and forth about CoinMarketCap volume and data. Their TLDR is 95% of reported volume is fake, but lots of good news. It's like, okay, we could just stop there. All right. Anyways, no, but this is overall good news. Mainly for me, I liked the assurance that the arbitrage spreads were so low. That the spreads between exchanges were extremely low, which is exactly what you want to see. So with anybody with a Forex background, you guys know that the wider the spread, as you venture out there into those brokers that are less registered or perhaps illicit, those spreads go way up, man. So in arbitraging becomes a thing. But the tighter the spread, generally, the more reputable the market is, the more established the market is. Spreads on, for example, there's spreads on stocks. Come on. All right. So first, key takeaway. So I got my notes here again. We're not just going to blanket read this, but for those of you who have not seen this, we are going to go over the highlights. So 95% of reported exchange volume, spot volume. So this is actual Bitcoin for fiat volume. Okay, is fake. The motive that they conclude for all this fake volume is listing fees, which can often be $1 to $3 million for a listing fee for a coin. Now, I know this to be fairly accurate. Again, every exchange does have different listing fees, but they're fairly high, right? Like I know some of these little off the beaten path, like off the neck of the woods exchanges, these little baby bitch exchanges that you've never even heard of. Like they charge like 2 Bitcoin for a listing, right? For like a coin that's just doing a startup on Discord, right? And I know this to be a fact because again, I've got a lot of friends who are developers. I work with some coin projects and stuff like that. I don't want to say I work with them, but again, I've got friends and I've just done, we have supporters of the show, MMO Coin, Spectre Security Coin, X42. So I just know this from being in the community and being in the crypto community for so long that a lot of these exchanges charge exorbitant fees for listings. And if you can wash trade and fake your volume all the way up there to make it very lucrative for coins to want to be listed on your exchange, I mean, it's not too hard to go out there and get $40 million and then list $40 million as your exchange volume, twist up some bots to wash trade, and then charge project. Hey man, look at all this volume. We got 40 million, man. Your coin's going to pump to the moon, bro. And then it's just not too difficult to get coins to come on and, give you you get 40 projects to give you $1 million, and boom, you're back at break even. You give your original investment back to the investment bank and you're off to go, man. It's easy, dude. So anyways, 10 exchanges make up almost all of the real trading. And most of those 10 exchanges are regulated. Spread, but the best thing for me is that just confirmation that the spread, and this I think is the most important thing. This right here is what the SEC wants to see, and what other regulators are going to want to see as well. That the spreads are super tight, that arbitrage is efficient. If arbitrage were not efficient, if we had massive spreads between these exchanges, then I would be keen to say that would be an area that they would be targeting extensively. And only 10 exchanges have over $1 million in real daily volume. So for those of you, oh, by the way, on that spread thing, for those of you, and again, I've talked about this before, arbitraging.co, it's a scam, okay? It's BitConnect 2.0. So for those of you who are still convinced that arbitraging.co site is a good deal, or that any of these like pooled arbitraging sites are like a good idea, think again, because the spreads between exchanges in Bitcoin, in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency markets are extremely tight and efficient. There's no magical arbitraging bot out there that is pulling returns to pull in 1% daily annual growth. It's just not real, dude. There's no magical arbitraging bot out there, guys. BitConnect, guys, your money's gone. They already locked withdrawals from what I'm aware of. And again, I was saying this for quite a while now. In totality, they say actual spot volume is only around $270 million, okay? As opposed to the, if we actually go over here to CoinMarketCap, let's see what CoinMarketCap has to say about Bitcoin's total volume. 9.47 billion. That's Billy with a B, guys. That's Billy with a B. Hit him up on Discord, at Billy with a B. $9.478 billion in spot volume. They're saying, nah, that's not real, man. It's about $270 million. Let's be real about this. Okay. Now, a few things on here. This is just spot volume. Okay. CoinMarketCap is aggregating futures volume. And we do know that, that BitMEX has, according to BitMEX, the highest volume by trading. Again, we do know this by a thing. Bitfinex arbitrage. Good luck. I don't know anybody who does it very well. Jay Way says the only person's word that matters is Da Vinci J15. I've talked about this before, man. I would love to have the guy on the show. He's just a guy, man. He's just a guy. He's made two correct calls, man. I don't know. Again, nothing negative against the guy. I want to give a full props to him for pointing out the fact that Mt. Gox was terrible. And then I think, what was the other like call? Did he say the market was going to crash? Like when, all technical indicators told you to be short around like, 6,500. I don't know. Just saying, like, Sean Baum, what's going on, buddy? Long old day today. Yeah, I feel you, dude. And it's always, Jay-Way says, it's always the black man that usually has the key to life. Hey man, we don't get into race or politics on this show unless we're talking about politics, because you get into politics. As far as race goes, people are people, man. It's all good. JN says, just asked about ADA going mad. Yeah, man. Let's see here. Somebody said, don't look at ADA. Again, I want to get through this thing before we start looking at the charts. You're talking double speed today. Had to check if my YouTube settings were okay. Yeah, I do tend to talk pretty fast. Edward Park, good to see you, my good dude. Quadriga CX had great arbitrage difference. Yes, and we saw how that played out, man. You just said spreads are tight, but Finex is plus 100% difference. Yes, so again, I don't know anybody that arbitrages to Bitfinex successfully. Try it, have fun. But in general, we're still talking about, that's still a tight spread, man. So let's look at, let's actually go here. We're going to go to Bitcoin and we're going to CoinMarketCap. So just stay with me here, guys. Let's go to markets. Okay. So what's the price of Bitcoin on X? 39.76. Coinbenny, right? This Coinbenny, man. I don't even know. Let's find, Coinbase. Come on, man. I can just look at the charts, but Jesus, like what are all these exchanges, dude, that just came out of nowhere, dude? I guess that's kind of the point of what we're talking about here. I know Coinbase doesn't put on that much volume compared to all this, but like Cemex, iQuant, come on, dude. Come on, man. Coinall, Bitmart, right? BTC, Tocock, come on, dude. Get the out of here. X rates? No. Okay. All right, we'll just use, whatever. We'll just use, these all seem to be about the same. What, 4,029? So let's go over to the chart. You're not going to see this, but I'm just pulling up my charts here real quick. And let's let's do a difference. Let's look at BTC USD on Coinbase. Current price is $3977.25. Okay, good. Let's see here. Actually, pretty good too. Let me know if you guys are getting feedback, because I do have the music on a little bit on my speakers, very low, so I can hear it. So 3977.25. I'm not a mathematician, so I'm using a percentage difference calculator. And we'll look at BTC USD on the good old Finex. $40.62.89. All right, so that is a percentage difference of 2.15. Okay, that's a fairly wide spread, I'm not gonna lie. But again, I don't know of anybody that actually arbitrages to and fro Finex. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. So there's a reason why. And again, I've never traded on Finex, so I don't want that to be a cop-out, like, oh, I just talked all this shit, and I'm not gonna back it up. But what I do mean is that, listen, I've never traded on Finex. I don't have anything negative to say about Finex, by the way, far and above. I know that it's like really popular to like, I know it's really popular to say negative things about Finex, and I reported on that before. And I know it's really popular to speculate about Tether as well. Who cares? Who cares, right? The market's gonna do what the market's gonna do. Like, again, we're back into that realm of extreme subjectivity, which is just absolute noise. If you wanna, again, if you wanna do what we do around here and just trade, man. Caribbean Crypto Show, what's going on, man? J-Way, stop. It's 5. BTC USD, statistician. Well, I'm glad I fixed the, I'm glad that I fixed the hum, man. All right, so 536, let's get back into this article. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. So the way that they, it's kind of interesting the way that they did this. So here's the links, by the way. Just you guys can just go. I dropped it in the chat a while ago. So they're saying that total daily spot volume is about 270 million. So about 4.5% of what is actually being reported. By the way, I want to give a shout out here to Russell Taylor and Ellie Young. Thanks to guys so much for these subs on YouTube. I also want to thank, let's see here. Wow, that's a lot. Let's try and find them all. Where does it stop? Tan Moy 60. If Ada was Ada. Hopefully hopefully that's right. These names are crazy, but I love each and every one of you. MS Modi 68, Kenbo 77, Axis H1, and Never Stop HD, guys. Thank you so much for the follows on Twitch, and Kenbo 77. Thank you so much for the Prime sub, dude. Highly appreciate it, man. Welcome to the family. Dun, 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 dun. Stay away from trails and folks you see. A lot of them will be out today. Stop it, dude. Stop. Let's see here. Ninja Sloth, that's a great question. I don't have any information for you right now, man. You'd have to just keep up with us, man, because we might come like a thief in the night, dude. Like a thief in the night. I might come on the show tomorrow and be like, listen, guys, 50% off. Feeling froggy. No, not like that. We're not. We've got, we've got employees to pay. So, but we will, we do them, man. Let's see here. Here's the next slide. So only 10 exchanges have over $1 million in real Bitcoin daily trading volume. And here's the 10 exchanges: Binance, Bitfinex, Kraken, Bitstamp, Coinbase, Bitflyer, Gemini, Itbit, Bittrex, and Poloniex. Take a breath, Justin. Moving on. All right. So as we can see here, Binance is the largest, followed by Finex, Kraken, Bitstamp. But Binance just overly, obviously just dwarfing all of them, as we've talked about before. Again, the only exchanges we trade on here at Kraken Cryptocurrency are MEX and Binance. So how can we tell what's real versus fake? Well, this makes a lot of sense to me, and I do like this method of analysis. So follow me down the rabbit hole here, guys. So what they've done is they've created a histogram. They've done an X and Y axis, right? The Y axis is going to be the amount of volume. And the x-axis is going to be like the trading bucket size. So we are looking for, statistically relevant trading sizes that your average trader is going to want to put on. So we're talking, 0.1 to 1 Bitcoin, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, somewhere around that size. And what we can see is if we actually divide volume on exchanges by trading size, we can see non-idiosyncratic and pretty much consistent trading size volume in the relevant trading sizes. So as we can see here, a lot of trades being put on around like 0.1. That's a very consistent, that's the most popular trading size, 0.1 Bitcoin. They're just nice round numbers. This is what's nice about trading Bitcoin. Actually, if you get up there, if you're actually trading spot Bitcoin, because you trade 0.1, 0.2, kind of like trading lots. So you guys can see this is fairly non-idiosyncratic, meaning not, like different or individually different. They're all very consistent, that you see very consistent volume spikes with these consistent, repeatable trading volumes right here, these trading sizes, these trading buckets, okay? If we take a look, and again, these are the large node exchanges. There's Coinbase, Kraken, Stamp, Trex, Poloniex, Bitflyer. If we look at suspect exchanges, so we're talking Coinbase, IDAX, LBank, Bit4X, XRadius, OakX. Look at these histograms, right? I mean, this is idiosyncratic, right? Because here's the thing. Excuse me. You expect a market to be fairly synonymous, right? You expect that traders on one exchange to be doing roughly what traders on another exchange are doing. Why? Because we're all part of the same market, right? And what creates an efficient market is tightening of the spreads. Arbitrage becomes more difficult, and what arbitrage, not to say that arbitrage isn't effective or profitable, because there are going to be variations, but you have to understand that there are bots out there that are watching for arbitrage all the time. And if we have efficient markets, which we actually do, and that's the conclusion of this report as well in cryptocurrency, when those spreads get wide, arbitrage happens immediately, and those spreads get tight really, really quick, right? Spreads between exchanges. So where market makers are there to play the spread on exchanges, even though basically market makers in today's exchange just dime the spread, which in traditional exchanges just to get you taken outside the exchange and re-educated politely, having your face re-educated very politely by a market maker. Basically, that's kind of what we have with cryptocurrency exchanges, but that's not too terrible. That's just is what it is. That's kind of one of the. That's just. I don't want to get sidetracked on that topic. But if we look at the histograms for suspect exchanges here, we can see the idiosyncratic nature of their own exchange. Like, does it make sense for LBank? Okay, $127 million in daily trading volume. And again, let me see if I can't zoom in here, but I think that's something like 20 Bitcoins. Does that really make sense for you to have lot sizes of 20 Bitcoins that the traders on LBank, you really think that traders who are trading 20 Bitcoins in a drop are trading on LBank? And the traders who are trading on LBank are trading 20 Bitcoins in a lot in around the same rate the traders who are trading, what is that, 4? Does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense. That is not congruent. That's weird. Same with XRadius. Okay, like what? Is there nobody on XRadius is trading like less than 2 Bitcoins in a drop? Does that make any sense? I mean, are you guys? Is the smallest amount that you guys pretty much regularly trade is that you guys regularly drop just 2 Bitcoin? Like that's your scale in. That's like 10% of your position. That's normal, right? Yeah, no problem. Bit4X. Okay, this is a little bit better. Same with Coinbase. But then I mean, just, what the fuck? This is weird, dude. What is that, 6 Bitcoin? That's a 6 Bitcoin lot right there almost. That's like, what, 5.5? That doesn't make any sense. You're saying that the most traded lot size for Bit4X is higher than the smallest traded lot size? That it's like whales in reverse, like whales on parade, dun 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 over at Bit4X. Like that is hard to believe, right? Now again, I do want to point out that it is possible. It is possible, right? It's like, the nth percentile possible, right? That in Bizarro land, that there are, and because again, this is cryptocurrency, and now we're going to step into the realm of like, put your tinfoil hats on, guys. It is possible that, you've got these magical whales out there, and they're only doing their stuff on Bit4X. That they set Bit4X up to do their only thing, and they're suckering in some like tiny guppies under here, and they're just but in reality, like having traded so long, like that is how most people think the world works, but that's actually not how the world works. The whales are able to make, those with larger Bitcoin holdings are able to make more money if they play by the rules in general. And because in general, individuals who try to manipulate the system, it's going to happen and they're going to make profits, right? But those are going to be your fly-by-nights. And that's what we're not about here at Kraken Cryptocurrency, right? We're not about pump and dumps, right? Now, there's nothing wrong. Listen, if you're engaged in pump and dumps, or if you're pump and dumping, again, I know people who run pump and dump groups, okay? They're not bad people, okay? They're just trying to get theirs, okay? The problem with that is, and maybe it's because of the background that I come from, I'm interested in developing a system because I have developed a system that's going to work now, and it's going to work in a decade, and it's going to work in 20 years, and it's going to work in 100 years, that I can teach my kids, that I can teach you guys. And it's going to work. Why? Because it worked 50 years ago, okay? It's a consistent method to grow wealth and make a living off of trading, right? If you put in the time, if you put in the grind. The problem with like pump and dump stuff and some of this early stage cryptocurrency market whack-a-noodlery is that yes, you can make a lot of money doing it, but it's not sustainable, it's not consistent, it's nothing that you're gonna be proud of, and it's not a skill that you can hand down. And I'm about sustainability here. Not some of that like eco-psycho sustainability like we're talking about, but I'm talking about why am I gonna put my time and grind into learning a skill that I'm not gonna be able to use in 5 years? You know, I'm all about the hustle, man, but I'm not about the short-sighted gains, right? I'm talking about, I'm more interested in the long-term sustained gains over time, right? So, it's kind of like Bitcoin, man. You play by the rules, you get paid. You try to cheat, you don't get shit. All right, so anyways, we're also talking about volume spikes that align perfectly. So now we're talking about time, volume by time, right? So if you look at regular exchanges, we can see that we have very consistent volume by time because we're part of the same market, right? If traders are getting really frothy over on Kraken at 6 o'clock in the morning, they're going to be really frothy on Bittrex and Poloniex, you know, and Coinbase, for example. But if we look at the suspect exchanges, I guess it's popping all the time over there on Bitmart, dude. I mean, I guess there is just never a dull moment, dude. So I don't know why I'm not trading on Bitmart. So I do want to caution you guys. For those of you who are watching, you see histogram like this, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, Jesus, look at all that volatility. I don't even care if it's fake. Good luck getting filled. Okay, go over to that exchange, try to trade those lot sizes. Good luck getting filled. Again, it's the same with trading the news. It's the same with focusing It's the same with focusing on subjectivity. It's the same with not having proper money management. It's the same with not having a consistent if this then that strategy. It's going to be looking for that short-term profit and you know, taking a first look at something and not really thinking it through all the way. So go ahead, dive into these shark-filled waters if you want to. I don't think you're going to get the results that you want. So anyways, when you remove fake volume, the real Bitcoin volume is quite healthy given its market cap, right? So gold's market cap is 7 trillion, right? Estimated according to Gold Eagle, with a spot volume of $37 billion, right? That implies a daily 0.5%, so 0.53% daily turnover, meaning the daily volume is 0.53% of the total market cap of gold, okay? That might not seem like a lot, you say, but that's actually pretty healthy. Look at the gold market, okay? It's good to go, right? It means, what that means in general is that you have a lot of hodlers, right? You have a lot of gold holders, right? With a small turnover rate. When you get a high turnover rate, it means the market's getting very frothy and is often an indication of market reversal. Bitcoin 70 billion, that's Billy with a B, DM him on Discord, Billy with a B at Billy with a B. Market cap would imply a 0.39% daily turnover. So very much in line with that of gold. So this is actually really healthy. Okay, that's the end all be all of this report. So, and again, the good news is that arbitrage between the 10 real exchanges, and I don't really like the way they say that, has improved significantly. So the average price deviation of any one exchange from the aggregate price is now less than 0.1%, okay? Well below the arbitrage band, considering exchange level fees, which can be anywhere from 0.1 to 0.3%, and hedging costs. So that's really good. So when as a trader, when I look at this, that is the most positive news for me. And again, I can tell you that the regulators, when they're looking at this as a sign of market health, having tight arbitrage bands or having a tight arbitrage spread is going to be something that they look at. So this is actually really good, man. And again, I don't really care if any of the other exchanges or if any other countries are offended by this, because again, we've talked about this. People are people, man. But this is mainly to get an American ETF listed, which, I mean, it's going to be good for the whole market, guys. So whatever, we got to suck some lemons. It's okay. Some people got to get pissed off. It's kind of like that seller ICO, right? You know what? 35,000 people tried to buy it. Only 3,100 got it. Yeah, they're going to have 30,000 pissed off people, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Get yours. So here's again, here's the 10 exchanges showing the price among the top 10 exchanges having very tight arbitrage bands. So this is good. That means we have a global unified price. All right. So The other thing is, okay, so we'll just go over, now we're getting into less interesting stuff, but when we're talking about the money services business with FinCEN or having the Bit license, all these exchanges, the Bit license is obviously registered, or excuse me, given out by the New York Board of Financial Services, the NYBFS. The Bit license is a little bit more restrictive and has more requirements to sign up for. Than just getting the MSB from FinCEN actually. So because of that, a lot of exchanges and a lot of you, some of you guys who are from New York who DM me, I know this from having conversed with you guys. A lot the crypto trading, the cryptocurrency world in New York can be not a whole lot of fun sometimes because of the Bit license. So if you don't have a Bit license, you can't operate within the territory of New York. So because of this, a lot of exchanges don't. Right. So a lot of you in New York are not going to be like eligible to partake in some of the cool fun stuff that the rest of us in crypto land can do. Even me, coming from the Midwest, I still live in the most regulated state, not the most regulated state. I'm sorry, the most regulated country. But anyways, it's pretty loose and laid back over here. So this is good. So what do we got? 9 out of the 10 have the MSB, and 1 to 5 out of the 10 have the Bit license, right? Even though it's optional. And here's the long list of obligations for the MSB. There's a longer list of obligations for the Bit license. Now, compared to a regular securities or futures exchange, I mean that's not a lot, but these are meaningful obligations. Most of these markets have market surveillance tools and protocols. Coinbase, I think, having the best one. The rest of them using Bitfinex and Stamp using the Eurasium market surveillance, which is kind of a market standard. Poloniex using the NIC Actimize, which is another market standard as well. The other ones do not. And one thing about this, they say, so this is something that I'm a little subjective on, and I don't have a strong opinion on this, but we'll see if we can't noodle this out later. When you remove fake volume, CME and SIBO futures volume is significant. Now, again, SIBO delisting their cash settled Bitcoin futures, but again, I've got an inkling in my brain that they're going to list physically delivered Bitcoin contracts to compete with backed, but that's just speculation, guys. Get your tinfoil hats on. Is significant, $91 million in volume compared to the real spot volume. 35%. So this is good news because it means CME, a regulated surveilled market, whatever the fuck that means, is of material size, which is important for an ETF. And then they go on to talk about how the CME, how it figures out its closing price, which is to take a basket of closing prices or an index from 10 exchanges, similar to what the ETF, the Bitwise, ETF is designed to do, or the same with the VanEck ETF as well. So, right here, here's the chart for this. So how would the Bitwise ETF calculate the NAV of the fund? You take 10 exchanges, capture trade prices and size, examine 6 5-minute periods leading up to 4 p.m. Eastern time. This is very similar, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Again, I have a full webinar on how BitMEX actually does this, on how we actually look at price and settle price, how we do closing price, for example, when futures contracts close out, which for those of you who are new to the space, we are going to be experiencing here up on March 29th, here in about 6 days, because the H19 contracts will be closing on BitMEX, for example. And I'm clicking the pen again. I know, I'm sorry, guys. It's just something that I do. So you guys sit in the background like, stop clicking the fucking pen. But anyways, I digress. So this is exactly how BitMEX does it as well, but they take 3 exchanges, depending on the coin. But we're talking about Bitcoin here. So that's about it, guys. And then, if you guys really want a good time, go down here and read the comment section because it is frothy. It is frothy. So that's about all that I have to say about that. I would really love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this, guys. Come into the Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com, or leave your comment in the show video below. I know a lot of you guys don't watch the whole show, and I know that you can't leave a comment during the show, but if you just wait a few minutes, guys, after the show ends, you can come back and leave a comment, guys. So maybe put that in your bookmark, guys. If you're a watcher of the show, you can't watch the whole 2 hours. That's fine. We go on a long time. Come back later, leave your comment in the comment box. Let me know what you think. I always tip a random commenter from the show, which, by the way, it's about time to do, man. Let's go on over to youtube.com, guys. I'm supposed to do that at the beginning of the show. Sorry about that. We're going to search for The Story of Blue, Daba Dee by Eiffel 65. Oh, man, that was a good one, dude. Does anybody remember that song? I'm blue, Daba Dee, Daba Die. Ooh, I'm live now. DEFCON 23, cracking cryptocurrency brain wallets. I want to make sure that he has my. I don't think he has a license to use cracking cryptocurrency. Scott, get him, dude. So let's go down here and see comments here, man. Let's see here. George Randala price is bearish. However, I think we'll have one more leg up before the dump, possibly, man. Oh, Jasper. Answer, I think you were right in your analysis. I am fully prepared for a fast and rough ride down within the next month or so. Master TA, but I would love to know the playlist too, bro. Nice, man. Yes, Scott is killing it, man. Edward Park, yo, man. Let's see here. Anita, price is the best overall indicator in the crypto market, and I believe price continues to move down as you suggested. Originally, I thought it could be a liquidation creating because I thought the move would have been faster, but I will continue to see if price goes back into previous resistance at the higher levels. And if it does, I will be exiting my short because why would it let the trap buyers out if the movement was going to break? Yeah, that's right. That would be awful nice and awful stupid. Neither of which pays the bills. Darn right. All right, so we're going to copy the YouTube URL. We're going to come over here and random YouTube. Oh, what was that? Random comment picker. See, this is a little too much for me, dude. I don't know if I can get down with like this is a little too clubby, dude. Edward Park, man. Edward Park, you win, dude. Appreciate your TA, Justin. Thank you so much, man. Ed Park, man. I don't know what your I should know this, dude. My bad, dude. I don't know what your let me look over here. Maybe I have it somewhere. If I'm right. Oh no, maybe that's another Ed. Okay, I apologize. Hey Ed, if you're in the Discord, man, ping me in general chat, or send me a DM so I can have the right, the right name, man. And I'll tip you some crypto in the Discord, man. Man, this is like really clubby, dude. See, this is like too much for me, man. I don't know if I can handle this. Oh. See here. So let's scroll up a little bit. Khalil. Oh, by the way, Khalil, you get wrenched, my good man. All right, we got a lot. Sorry, guys, I was kind of missing the chat, guys. So if Mr. Ether says, do it now for consistent listeners, 50% off this month only. Listen, there is a possibility that I do something special coming up soon, but no guarantees, man. To the lifeboat called out all these scam bots and had his community span them. All the bots went through one crypto exchange. Coinbase Pro can be corrected. They have so much pressure they shut down. From Ricky Thompson. I'd say I don't know. That's a little. I assume I'll try to noodle it, man. So you're like to the lifeboat, right? So exclamate. That's like let's go to the lifeboat, right? Yeah. All the scam bots and had his community span them. I don't understand that though, man. My bad, dude. Is it possible that CMC does not account for canceled spoof buy sell wallers? Yes, highly possible. Also, the Coinbase CMC values include GDAX. Yeah, Coinbase Pro. The great. Come on, man. Listen, man, it's cool, dude. Like, if you like, thanks, guys, by the way, for thanks, guys, for handling the troll army coming in here. That's kind of funny. But you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much for the mods out there, guys. Jesus, he even types fast. All right, so sorry, guys, if I missed any good questions, man, drop them in the chat or drop them back again, man. I'll try to get to them as good as I can. It's 5:59, guys, so you guys know what time it is. It's time for me to take a slight break. Do I think it will ever be 1 Satoshi equals 1 cent? Yes, dude. Yes, at some point in time. Anyways, so it's time for me to take a quick 2 or 3 minute break, guys. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we are going to start off with our Bitcoin and Ethereum technical analysis. We're going to look at the SPX. We're going to break down the charts because we are about 2 hours away. 1 hour away from the daily candle close and the 8-hour candle close, which is where I start putting on new positions and analyzing if I need to change anything. We'll talk about, I will allow, I do have to keep a lot of my positions secret for the premium subscribers to protect their interests as well. But again, we put out free signals, so we'll talk about what we can, about what I am entered into. We'll go and break down the latest. Let's see, we already gave away the free tip we'll take some requests, guys. So we got about an hour left to go. Don't go anywhere. And while you're waiting, guys, make sure you head on over to free.mmo.krakencryptocurrency.com to get your chance to win 5,000 MMO. 5 winners are going to win 5,000 MMO. We're giving away 25,000 MMO. We did break that resistance, guys, at 1.5 at 1,500, guys. So we broke that 1,500 resistance. Let's try and break that 2,000 resistance, guys. 2,000 entries, guys. Get your chance to win. If you guys don't know anything about MMO, please go over to mmopro.org to check out their gaming community and forum, or mmocoin.pro to check out their project as well. If you guys would like to head over to mmocoin.shop, you can actually purchase goods and services with your MMO. And if you'd like to be a vendor and sell your goods and services for MMO, you guys can go down to the bottom of the screen and click on Become an MMO Marketplace member as well, guys. So I'll be right back, guys. Couple minutes, man. Don't go anywhere. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for hanging in there with me. Let me turn that background music down just a little bit. It's a pretty good track, man. All right, guys. Drinking my evening coffee out of the Kraken cryptocurrency hodl mug. Scientists have told me that it improves your trading efficacy by 85%, your personal attractiveness by 90%. But you know, as it will. Thanks, All Infinity. I appreciate it, man. All right, let's scroll out. Let's scroll out a little bit here. If I wasn't already in an ETH short, I would be shorting Cardano. Anyone know how long it takes for Coinbase to up limits? I couldn't tell you directly, man. I'm sure it's documented somewhere. Just got to take the time in the grind, man, and scroll through their documentation and their reference material. Pump it up. What's the purpose of the breaks? You try streaming live for 2 hours a day. Handy Rams wants to go hard on this. Gucci Wally Wally. Possibly biggest kid out of a tree. Yes. All right, guys. See, I got Ada. Yep. Oh, okay. Let me look up here, Scott. See what you got, man. I guess I don't. Oh, here we go. Ada. Yep. Good. I think that was yesterday. Okay, so I see IOTA and I see ADA. Of course, everybody wants me to look at ADA. Not a problem, man. We'll take a look at ADA, dude. We'll take a look at ADA. We'll take a look at IOTA. Let's see if we can get that plopped in there. We'll start off with Bitcoin. So looking at the 8-hour tether chart, guys. Price sitting at about $39.99. Looking like it wants to tap that 4,000 again. Let's zoom this bad boy out. Let's just look at the chart, man. Okay. Here's what we see. Let's see what Wadatara is telling us. Wadatara is telling us, hey man, negative momentum. We're trading above the explosion line. It's kind of giving credence to the short, to my negative bias in the first place. Again, short on the XBT chart from 4015. Creeping back up there, not too close to where I got my break even again. Taking 50% profits on this wick right here. So entered into that momentum short. So should price creep back up to my break even price, that's okay. The trade has already been a win. The only question on my mind is how much money am I going to make? I talked about this earlier at where I would add, but we'll get into that as we do a little bit of further analysis here. Looking at the 8-hour candle, what does the 8-hour candle tell me? Pretty spinning top doji, not a spinning top doji, excuse me. I wouldn't even call it a long-legged doji, but it is, that's the only basket it could fit into is a long-legged doji. The previous 8-hour candle close. The current 8-hour candle close is actually what I would consider bearish. People are going to say that it looks like a hammer candle, but generally if this candle was right here, it would be a hanging man candle. When you've had a weak uptrend like this on low volume, it is actually a sign of weakness to put in a candle like this. If we look at the volume, actually I need to change this to the volume moving average. I want to be a line, a really thick line, earthy, and 15. All right, so save as default, okay. Since TradingView did their updates, I find myself having to do like little updates like this from time to time. It's a good tune. Now that's cool. That's a nice chill hoppy for me. Anyways, hanging man candle after a weak uptrend. If we look at the volume profile on this, we can see overall falling volume. This does not indicate an extreme sign of strength to the bulls. Still confident in my short position, but again, the short position's already been a winner. So should it come up and pop my break even, we'll reevaluate, and we'll look to enter into our short at a sign of market weakness up here. I'm not, again, we talked about kind of the two possible options, right? 70% chance that this has fairly violent and sustained continuation to the downside. Now, I will note that this weekend has been a divergence from the last 3 weekends where we have seen extreme volatility going into Friday or Saturday night. Now it is Saturday night. We could still see that extreme volatility, but looking at the chart right now, I kind of doubt it. Unless we see a big drop tonight, which I'm not. Again, is still the 70% chance that we do drop. I would go back to the default of assuming that we just kind of list lazily along to the right until Monday morning when we get when the Asian markets open and we get some significant movement happening around anywhere toward the daily candle close on Sunday evening. And then if we don't have volatility by then, we'll look toward the London Open. If nothing still happens by then we just wait, guys. It's cool. The market's going to do what it's going to do. So week 8-hour candle here about to close in 47 minutes. If we look at Wadatar, as we talked about, again, negative momentum. It's telling us to go ahead and be in the short fairly aggressively, not trading strongly above the explosion level, but still trading above the explosion level. We will close above it. If we look at time transformation, we did get actually a little bit of bullish hidden divergence on this candle right here. A little bit of 8-hour bullish divergence. We actually are crossing back above the zero line right now. So time transformation is actually telling us that we could have a little bit of continued follow through. We're not anywhere near overbought territory. If we look back at the last signal that TT gave us, for some reason, I do need to reset the chart for some reason. There we go. Let's reset the chart. The last signal that time transformation gave us was regular bearish divergence on this candle right here. And then we had the unnatural volume that followed. This confirmed on the 3-hour chart that we had to look at when this actually happened. The last sell signal we got was back here on this candle right here. So again, a little bit of conflicting signals here because Wadatar is telling us that we should be in a short position and we should be comfortable with that short position. 8-hour time transformation telling us that we might actually see a little bit of sustained movement to the upside. Again, we had that crossover. We had that bullish crossover in the bearish control zone. So underneath the zero line. So typically typically time transformation crossing above the zero line is a trend following indication. Now, you guys will notice that at Kraken Cryptocurrency, when it comes to cryptocurrency, we are typically not trend traders. We are reversal traders. We trade reversals at Kraken Cryptocurrency because I think that they're the best R2R. So here's what I see. Bearish Wadatar, bearish price action, and I see moderately, slightly baby bitch bullish time transformation. So I can't use this as the basis for opening new positions. I have to stick to my original position because if I were not in a position, do I see anything in here that would incite me to enter into that would excite me or entice me into entering into a position? No, because I can't enter. That was a little bit of spittle, geez. I can't enter into a trend following trade with time transformation with Wadatar giving me the conflicting signal right here. So if time transformation is telling me to enter into a bullish trade right now, I cannot. If Wadatar is telling me that I can't go bullish, why? Because this is measuring the average momentum of time and telling me that it's a no-go, that I can't go because we have bearish momentum on weak volume. So actually, if I were to add up this, I would say that we look like we are. Well, hello, Awanda. That's my Forex demo account. We will not mess with that right now. Anyways, if I had to look at this just as objectively as I can, we're putting in somewhat of a bear flag formation. You guys know how I feel about chart patterns, but again, ascending price action on lowering volume. We have a lowering volume profile. We have Wadatar confirming that. Let's hide those drawings again. And we have time transformation not giving us a clear trend following signal that we have any kind of confirmation for. So this looks bearish, guys. This looks bearish. And even if it didn't look bearish, it is not any indication that would want to that if I only had this information on the chart and I wasn't already in a short position, I wouldn't have any indication to be entering into a position based off of this. So it's fairly non-relevant. Okay, let's take volume off. Let's look at Ichimoku on the 8-hour charts here, see where we are in relation to support and resistance. Still trading above the cloud. We can see that down thrust did actually not only grab liquidity below here, but did come down to test the top of the Kumo cloud and the Kijun-san. We are currently finding support on the Tenkan-san. So as we talked about yesterday, what are the signs of scaling or adding more to my short position? I would need to see an 8-hour close below the Tenkan-san, which we have not actually seen yet. We haven't seen a close below the Tenkan-san. This candle did not actually close. I mean, you can make the argument that this closed below the Tenkan-san. But then when you look at exactly what it did, again, you generally don't enter into continuation trades based off a candle like this. Again, this is strong volume, but with a 50% wick that brings you right back up to a previous level of support. Really, the only position to enter off of this candle was a counter trend long. And again, shout out to the guys in the members group who took that trade. I know that Golk did, I think, for example. By the way, and shout out to Golk for making that MDR bot for our Discord. Shout out to you, man. Great work. Yeah, so once I see a confirmed 8-hour close below the Tenkan-san, which is also congruent with the level of, I'd say 39.50, 39.70. Talked about this yesterday. That would be an indication for me to add to my short position, to scale into my short position. Basically take the 50% profit that I've already booked on the trade. Now that I'm seeing confirmed closing below a significant level of support, which we actually haven't seen yet, that would be an indication for me to scale more strongly into my short position. The next level of support that I could see us putting into is obviously the previous level, the Tenkan, and the area right here of the Kumo Cloud and the Kijun, which is actually where we saw liquidity reach down to below. That would be a traditional support resistance flip. As you see, we have previous resistance, not really confirmed as support, except potentially you can make the argument on this candle. But anyways, we've swept the liquidity down here, so there's no reason, if price does move back into this zone below support around 39.70 and in the zone of 39.50, there's no reason to consider that bullish. That's not a retest. That's not giving trap shorts an opportunity to exit. That doesn't make any logical sense. Just as that comment from yesterday makes a whole lot of sense. If price does start drifting up here, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. For us to stay or for you to be opening new short positions until you see another sign of market weakness, because the market is not kind enough to give trap longs an opportunity to exit their position to break even. All those people who long the top. So a movement back to this level would be short-term bullish. But again, based off this data that I have in front of me, would I put on any new trades at this point in time? No, because there's nothing definitive, nothing correlative that I can see here. So I do have to retain my previous position and wait for a definitive signal to enter into a new position. So stop loss remains at my entry now that I've taken 50% of my profit, and I wait for a break of significant resistance. Whether that significant resistance comes at the Tenkan-san, which is the level that I'm using now, or the price level of 39.50, that would be when I would add more to my short position on confirmation of the breakdown. Good one. Just a little too clubby for me, but not too bad. I guess if you guys can get down with the get down, it's not too bad. You know what I mean? Level of confluence there on the volume profile. You can see that level, let's see, 39.50, 39.70 is also pretty much where we enter into this low volume node, shallow area of the volume profile. So I would expect price to move through that fairly quickly. Looking at our EMAs as well, what is that congruent with? That would also be congruent with the close below the 21 exponential moving average, which we had twice and immediately went back to the upside. If you're looking for a stronger signal, you're obviously waiting for us to lose the 8-hour momentum and a close below the 55 exponential moving average as well. That's coming in around 39.40. So that whole cluster, this zone right here, again, that we've tapped for liquidity here from a price action analysis standpoint. Should price move back to this area, it's not a retest of support. It's a genuine confirmation of the breakdown of price. Hopping over to the BitMEX chart here real quick, let's see where we're sitting at. Again, price is currently coming in around 39.77, so a little bit of a divergence, but again, a very tight spread. We see the price hasn't really come very close to my stop loss here at 40.15. Again, already booked about 50% of profit. The analysis remains absolutely the same. Looking over here, let's throw up an Ichimoku so we can see. Actually, on the 8-hour chart for BitMEX, we are trading below the Ichimoku level. So this is looking as a confirmed SR flip. Because again, we have price break below, we have the Tenkan trading up. Now, it's interesting that this is going to take some time to catch up and for us to actually get this bearish cross under. So this is taking the average. Obviously, if we look at the Ichimoku settings that we have, we just trade the traditional ones, the 20, 60, and the 30. Actually 20, 60, 120, 30 being the displacement. So those are, again, I'm not exactly sure. Credit goes out to all kinds of places if you're using those. But again, I've back tested multiple settings with Ichimoku on cracking cryptocurrency, or not on cracking crypto, on cryptocurrency trading, mainly with the XBT USD and ETH USD pairings, and I find these to work the best. If you're looking for something that's going to provide support and resistance, whatever. And if you guys want to use my Ichimoku indicator, which I actually use a Z Lima. So a zero lag exponential moving average to smooth the Chiku span. I actually have alerts that you can code for TK crosses and Kumo cloud breaks, all this down here. You guys can go check that out. It's public and free to use on my TradingView. You guys just go to tradingview.com/u/Kraken cryptocurrency. Give me a follow on there, and you guys can use my indicators and be alerted when I publish new indicators and ideas. Handy Rams says, by the way, thanks for the stream. I love having it on. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Christian Zeladon. I like that name. It would be a good small reversal after on sell on news, but I think ADA is one of the strongest alts plus big conference in mid-April with potential big news, but you're an expert. Go ahead, try. So again, here at Kraken Cryptocurrency, we don't trade news. We don't take that stuff into account whatsoever. It's noise. You have no idea which way the market's going to move. Looking at Cardano, you want to short it. You want to take stabs, man. Every trade you take is a risk. Just make sure you're analyzing it on a higher time frame. We are going to look at Cardano here very, very soon. Somebody asked, as far as scalping goes, so we've got several strategies that we're looking to automate. We don't have it all done yet because we want to make sure that we do it properly and do it right. When that's all done and when it's all set up, we're actually going to have separate channels in the premium Discord that are going to be just for the purposes of 15 and 30-minute signals, for example, or maybe 1-hour signals. Again, that's something that I've been back testing extensively, and we've got a very profitable strategy, actually 3 of them. Those are going to be published probably, again, we talked about kind of the schedule for what's coming forward for the developments of what I'm doing. The strategies that go with time transformation that you could actually automate or that you can use in TradingView, so the Pine Editor back testing strategies. Those will be released in mid-April. Following the end of April will probably be the first of the 3 strategies. And then going into May and June will be the next 2 as well. What did we have to do to win 5,000 MMO coinage? Again, just go to freemmo.krakencryptocurrency.com, join their Discord, download their wallet, follow them on Twitter, just all this stuff. We're just trying to support the community, man. Keel Wilson, thank you so much, man. He says, shout out to you, Justin, for these awesome live streams. I appreciate it, man. Oh, is that you, Golk, man? He says, I'm glad you like my MDR bot, man. Where can I get the background playlist? I will take a screenshot and send it to you, man. Full credit goes to Scott for compiling this music. Some of it's really good, man. I'm glad you guys like it. We're gonna take some time. We're gonna take some time and get some more tracks. So we only got like 21. It's about an hour long, so we kind of got to like replay it, but it's pretty good, man. Okay, so not a whole lot here. Let's see here. So back to BitMEX. Again, I think it's going to follow. I always look at Tether to see exactly how BitMEX is going to go. BitMEX is going to put in a few more grabs and hunts for liquidity. Let's go over here and look at Tensor charts here. Let's switch over to XBT. Caution, we're entering into the realm of subjectivity. What did we just see here? We did just see, here's the 5-minute chart. We did just see, let's see here, about 15 minutes ago, we did just see a lot of shorts get stopped out. 1.8 thousand, I guess that's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot, but it's the first significant level of liquidations that we've seen here a little bit on the chart. Going to the 1-minute chart, yeah, we can see that same level of liquidations right there. I would expect us to actually probably have to see more liquidations before we see another violent move down. But again, the fact that we are seeing, let's go to the hourly chart. Actually, I want to keep on the 5-minute to look at the open interest drop. All right, here we are, XBT on the 5-minute chart. Pretty significant drop off in open interest as price is moving down, meaning that a lot of traders are getting stopped out and that there's not a lot of strength in the new direction and the new trend. And really, there's not a huge pickup of open interest here as price moves sideways. Overall, if I just go back to the hour chart and look at the rise and fall of open interest, I would say that this movement up here constitutes the end of the upcycle, constitutes the end of price appreciation. And now we're just kind of hanging in the air down here, and we see a rise in open interest on the higher time frame for the BitMEX Tensor chart stats. which is, I think, a new direction of the downtrend. And see, this is where it gets subjective, right? Because kind of the cheat sheet goes, and this is why I think that this is an excellent tool for confirming your technical bias, right? This is an excellent tool for confirmation of your trade, but I don't think that this information should be used as your primary entry and exit indicator. There is a difference between analysis and having an idea of what the market is doing, and then going to your terminal, entering a buy limit order or a buy market order, and making money off a trade. That stuff, if you want to make money consistently, in my experience, you need to have an if this then that strategy that removes as much subjectivity as humanly possible from the market. A lot of this stuff, BitMEX stats, MDR, it's fascinating for analysis and can be used as a basis, as a confirmation indicator. It absolutely can. And again, I talk about this stuff on the stream because I think it's important information for confirmation. But you will notice, especially if you guys, those of you who are in here from the premium trading group, I use an if this then that strategy for trades. And I've back tested my strategy long enough to know that my strategy is profitable in the long run. So you'll see, and this is kind of like science. I wanted to go over this yesterday, but I want to get to, let's just, hopefully I didn't delete this. Maybe I did. Shoot. Darn it. Anyways, you know, stuff that you'll hear. This I had like a little post that I wanted to talk about yesterday. I didn't get time to talk about it, but you know, signs that you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear like words. You're gonna hear words, and you're gonna see words on crypto Twitter and like Discords and stuff like that, like from people who profess to know what they're talking about, right? And they're gonna say like, guys, the market's unstable right now. Be really cautious with new positions. If you hear that, like, you should probably run in the opposite direction. Because the market is always unstable. It thrives off instability, and that's often when the most profitable positions can be taken. It's not that I have a problem with somebody saying, hey, be cautious with new positions right now, because there are times in the market where it's like, hey, man, we're not getting a lot of clear signals. It's probably unsafe to trade right now. But I really just, maybe this is, I don't like that. The market's unstable. It's always unstable, dude. Like, the market is always unstable. Why don't you just be honest and say the truth? Like, hey, guys, I don't have a really clear indication of which way I think the market should go right now. It's kind of feels like a coin toss to me. So I'll just wait for clear signals. You know why? Because I don't have a crystal ball. And one of the things that I like to do with the show is come on here, and if I don't know which way the market's going to move, I'll tell you guys. And I don't. I mean, I'm a trader, guys. Traders don't have crystal balls, right? I just know I have a strategy that I've back tested long enough to know that it's profitable. It's that simple. And I've looked at price long enough to be pretty good at predicting it, which way that it's going to go. Just looking at statistical back. Thank you so much. MOKSH Writer for liking my indicator on TradingView. The Polish ambassador, man. Hell yeah. B Finster, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch, my good dude, and Hyphy247. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. Welcome to the community. This is pretty chill right here. I like this. This is bad. Ooh, I need to update the schedule. It's been like sitting on stream here for a minute. IOTA. Did we look at IOTA? I think we looked at IOTA, yeah. I think we looked at IOTA yesterday. So we looked at IOTA yesterday. So we have room for another request, man. But Tam, what's going on, man? I knew you were lurking in the weeds. What's going on, my good dude? So, anyways, yeah, man, if we look at the long liquidations right here, not overly impressive, but again, these are good signs that we could see short-term price appreciation again, just looking at price action analysis right here. But in general, I think that my original argument stands. We've seen a significant sell-off right here. I think this represents a break in market structure, right? We've seen price like slowly floating up, slowly floating up. This is a huge carve to the downside. And what do we see as price is just drifting along? We see rising open interest, okay? I think that this is confirmation that we're having, obviously, rising open interest is new traders putting on new positions in the same frequency. So we're having longs and shorts open up simultaneously. So overall, more people are interested. And I think that that is interest in the new direction to the downside and the new trend to the downside. I mean, we saw a significant turnover here, and we're not seeing a lot of significant turnover here as well, guys. So anyways, what do I see in the very, very short term? Probably a little bit of flotation here, honestly. Well, not in the immediate short term. In the immediate short term, a little bit of downside after all these short stops. But on the higher time frames, I could see price just floating along a little bit. until we get a little bit more, until we see some more significant short liquidations right here. It wouldn't surprise me to see the bottom shorters get punished, which is I talked about earlier. If that happens, then we just reevaluate and look for another position. All right, getting back over here, let's check out Ethereum real quick. And Ethereum as well. Look, man, the 8-hour candle's about to close. This looks like a sign of weakness, right? So here's the thing about Ethereum, right? I feel pretty comfortable with this price level on entering my short. I had some higher price levels set. So this is kind of one of those situations where I'm like, all right, listen, I'm already in a short for Bitcoin. I feel that Ethereum has a little bit more room. I feel that Ethereum is more bearish. I feel that Ethereum has more room down to go. Ethereum has retraced more of its space than Bitcoin has. So I'm comfortable entering into position now. I'm not super thrilled. Isoparm, thanks so much for the like on TradingView, man. I'm not super thrilled with where I have to set my stop loss on this trade, but it's the only logical place. So for the interest of putting on a trade for a potentially profitable position, it's a risk that I'm willing to take on this particular trade. But if let's just start our analysis in general. We've got 27 minutes for the candle to close. Looking at WADATAR, it's bearish, but it's not giving us the go through on a trending trade right here. Keep in mind that WADATAR is a reversal strategy, a trending strategy, not a reversal strategy. So if we look at time transformation is also giving us a weak trending indication to the upside. But what do I see here? Because WADATAR is not giving me any confirmation right here with me wanting to take this as a potential long signal, I have to view this as coiling. I have to view this as general noise from my oscillator, right? Because we're crossing above, we're crossing below the zero line with no strong indications and no strong volume. So I have to revert back to general price action analysis. What do I see here? I see weak movement to the upside on low volume, fundamental sign of weakness for the bears. It's a good one. Anyways, fundamentally weak sign for the bulls. Fundamentally weak sign for the bulls. A good sign of strength and a good sign of entry for the bears. Again, we've had a nice violent move down. Price has lazily lifted to the upside. I think it's put a lot of people in uncomfortable positions. I think we are probably on the verge of seeing any individuals that shorted down here panic and exit their positions. And it's at that exact moment that price will make another volatile move to the downside, because that is just how. It's just how this shit works, man. Looking at Ishimoku, again, looking for that same thing, looking for that nice confirmation of the breakdown and the nice reclose below the Tenkan-san here. You can see here on the 8-hour chart that price dropped down to the Kijun-san and then elevated back up to test within the cloud. So price being inside the cloud, you can see that the Chiku span is also inside the cloud. Further indications that price is ranging and not making a strong movement at this point in time. But it's exactly at these points of time, once you've let price range for a little bit, when you want to have your eyes on the prize and be determining what your next directional position is going to be. For me, that's to the short side. So I'm going to preempt this one. If this one doesn't work out well for us, guys, we'll keep you guys updated on this one. But I'm very happy to take this risk. Very happy to take this risk. So hopefully I can noodle this a little bit more effectively. Let's look here. So trending indications are weak, right? So that means there's a weak trend, okay? Time transformation is giving weak signals and coiling around the zero line. We have falling volume in a typically bearish structure, all right? We've just barely popped back up above the 8-hour Kijun, and we have a current 8-hour bearish candle. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's about the best that we're going to get, guys. It's about the best that we're going to get for an indication right here. So we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. I'm pretty comfortable with this one right here. It's not the best setup in the world. I could ask for a better setup, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get it. So I got to take what the world throws at me. Looking at the volume profile, let's take a look here. Yeah, so this would be fairly congruent with dropping below the point of control. We have reclaimed the point of control as support. I would like to see us close back below the point of control, back below the Tenkan-san. Those would be my first elements of weakness, and I would probably scale more into my short position. But really, at this point in time, what am I looking for as far as that same area on the chart where I want to see that confirmation of weakness? Well, again, you can see that we haven't really swept the liquidity down here, right? We haven't really swept this liquidity. If there are any short orders placed, we've already punished anybody that entered in this range right here. But anybody playing a longer position that might potentially have their stop loss set here, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense for anybody that entered in this range right here to have their stop loss set down here. That would have been cashed out, especially if they were using these market lows. So we can see that on the line chart if we look right here. So that area has already been tapped into. So if we could use that horizontal level here off the line chart where you would logically place a stop loss below your previous low down here, that's already been cashed. So chart not as clean as the Bitcoin chart. I mean, the chart, as far as horizontal levels of support and resistance and pockets of liquidity, it seems much, it's a little less clear here on the Ethereum chart. But anyways, what I mean in general, if I just zoom out, what am I looking at here? I'm seeing another failed attempt at a high, and I'm just seeing price kind of range around a little bit before it comes down here and grabs liquidity right here below. Really, again, the area that I've talked about here for a while is 115, 118. But again, I wouldn't put the argument in here for one. I wouldn't put the argument for 100 out either. There's just logical areas for price to reclaim. So we'll see. It'll be a little difficult for me to get past my bearish sentiment at this point in time. But we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. All this looks really weak to me, man. Again, a lot of people are painting an ascending triangle. Could be. You guys know how I feel about chart patterns. 60% of the time, they work every time. But I'm not seeing anything that would make me want to take a long, like nothing at all. The only thing that I'm seeing that would make me want to take a long is this right here, is time transformation crossing above the zero line. We did have a little bit of regular bullish divergence on this candle right here that led to a small amount of price appreciation. But with price being so low, so close to the zero line and underneath the zero line, giving that bullish signal, I don't know. I feel like it's already played out, and you can see it was sold into right here. So now we have a nice long-legged doji and then a hanging man pretty much at the top of an uptrend. So we'll see how this plays out in a typically bearish formation, bear flag. DJ Barrios asks, where can you see that information? I'm assuming you're talking about the Tensor charts information. Just go over to tensorcharts.com. Now, the information I'm looking at right here, like the 1 hour and the 5 minute and the daily, for example, does require a premium subscription. It's well worth it, guys. You guys should probably have a Tensor Charts Pro subscription. It's really worth it, especially if you do want to be a little bit more of an active trader and trade, kind of the more subjective price action analysis, which is cool, man, if you want to go down that route. But here's the Tensor Charts trade. There's lots of good information down here, man. There's lots of good ways to trade. Lots of stuff. Just remember, if you go down this path, you're kind of in uncharted territory. There's not a lot of guides out there. You're kind of going to be a pioneer. We're pioneers, Brian. You're going to be a pioneer. So if you want to be a pioneer, hey, shout out to you, man. This is kind of like uncharted territory, but really cool stuff from Tensor Charts, man. Again, I don't typically look at this chart too much because I find it's just too much subjectivity. And again, it's just an area where I'm willing to admit that this is kind of, this stuff, these tools and stuff. I'm new to this. So do I want to start throwing lots of my capital behind tools that I'm new to? No, because I know I can come over here to TradingView and I can make money. But really do like Tensor Charts. I do really like the BitMEX stats. Those are really cool. So you just click the finger here and you go to BitMEX stats. If you don't have a paid account, you can see this information for free, the 1 minute chart. So you can see all this, the 1 minute chart for free. Going over to the BitMEX chart here real quick on ETH. Again, we've got about 20 minutes for the candle to close. Same thing, man. Time transformation hasn't given us a strong signal in a while. It did give us the sell over here, gave us the buy right here, gave us the buy down here. So been waiting on a signal here for time transformation. Haven't given us a strong one. We see the same thing here. We see that lazy about to cross above the zero line right here from TT. But Wada Atar is not telling us we can go, man. We're below the explosion level. We're printing bullish momentum or bearish momentum. Again, we've got that classic bear flag structure. I can't take it, man. Very, very weak price action here from Ethereum right now. So again, I just have to trade for my, I just have to look at this. I have to zoom out and look at the overall structure, see price ranging around that same. If we go over here to Tensor Charts and switch over to Ethereum, let's look at that hourly. Same thing. We actually see, what's interesting right here is we're actually seeing price moving up, right? And we're seeing open interest drop off. So a lot of traders getting stopped out, a lot of people that were looking to go long on this movement right here, a lot of traders exiting their positions, not fundamental to a sign of strength. And now after this top out right here, which happened a while ago at 137, which is why, again, I wish I would have caught this candle. I was spending time with my daughter today. I wish I would have caught this candle right here. But now we see rising open interest as price is moving down. I think this is indicative a little bit more cleanly here for the open interest BitMEX stats. I think this is much more indicative of weakness in Ethereum than it is for Bitcoin right now. So short on Ethereum, short on Bitcoin, guys. All right, let's go over here to the main charts and we'll look to take requests. Crypto Me Not. Hey, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, here's Stephen Hyatt, man. I think that's right. Tensorcharts.com. Let me make sure here. I'll just tensorcharts.com/u/BitMEX stats. I don't know if you need to register. I think you need to register an account before to let you see that information. But. Andreas Garofalo says, very interested in your opinion on ZERP BTC longs charts. Thanks, man. Let's go to the schedule and see if we got time to throw that on there. XRP BTC longs. Maybe I should put the schedule. I gotta find some better place to put this schedule, man. Maybe here? Like every time I move it, I just have to constantly move that thing. I don't know why. So we looked at ETH. Sorry, let's glance at the let's glance at the SPX real quick. Actually, the market's closed right now, but we will glance at the SPX. Actually, it looks pretty good, man. Okay, good. It's glad that I looked at this, man, because it was a while for the last time I looked at this. So kind of the exact same that I talked about, man. We did get this 8-hour sell signal from time transformation. As we can see, the last time transformation on the 8-hour chart gave us a buy signal. It's down here at the bottom of the market. So of course, we do not trade the 8-hour chart for indices, and we do not trade the 8-hour chart for Forex here at Kraken Cryptocurrency. We trade the daily chart for that stuff. All right, so let's take a look here. We did get the sell signal from time transformation, but again, it was telling us to take profit on this as well. Looking for that strong trending indication. We haven't really had it. We'll have that when time transformation crosses below zero. And Wadatar confirms this is the first time since back here where we did have this nice pullback where Wadatar actually gave us the go ahead to go short. Wadatar would have given us the 2-day signal right here to go short right here. Would we have taken profits? How many ticks we would have got off that? So we would have been short on the close of this candle. That's good. We gapped down. We would have gotten 4,500. We would have gotten 4,500 ticks. So that would not have been it wouldn't have been a massive trade, but it would have been an okay trade. You most likely would have been taking profits off that if you were trading a couple lots. Anyways, let's go look and see. But again, that is all less relevant. Let's actually just take that off for a second. Let's just look at again when it comes to. This stuff works really well. I designed time transformation for not for the S&P 500, although you can trade other stocks on lower time frames with it. But when we're looking at the S&P 500 again, we just talked about the same thing, man. We're talking about a level of resistance right here, a strong level of resistance at 2816, right? And what did we see? We saw price float above. We saw a break of resistance. We saw a reclamation and a pullback. I mean, just a fake out, guys. Just a wonderful fake out. Again, I was bearish on this for a while, and I've talked about this ever since we've been looking at the S&P 500. I want to see this pull back to 2600 if we're going to rally further. Okay. I mean, I talked about how I sold. I had a little bit of a 401k from an old job, and I sold it in at this range right here. Once price had reclaimed the previous high, I looked at the market and I said, nah, guys, I'm good with this, man. I don't care if we rally higher, dude. I mean, you can't be really bullish until we reclaim these previous highs, because look what's happening here to all these traders who went long on this candle right here. I mean, because this is kind of your classic support and resistance flip scenario, right? And this is where you want to be careful. It's okay to play that stuff in crypto, but in larger indices and larger markets like this, I mean, you're just gonna get knocked out of the park, dude. Look at this. I mean, price just reclaims that, finds resistance right here on this daily candle, breaks above. You're waiting for the pullback, right? So you enter on the confirmed pullback, right? You see this candle and you're thinking to yourself, okay, we've had a confirmed support resistance flip. I'm going long, right? Well, what happens? You get absolutely punished, man, by the market. Absolutely punished. I wouldn't be surprised if this gaps down tomorrow. Not tomorrow, excuse me, Monday morning, when the New York opens. But yeah. I mean, just a grab for liquidity, right? We have this beautiful equidistant level of highs, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime you see a structure like this, right? I mean, you're just gonna get suckered in and lured in, man. And what happens? You get pulled up, dumped on, man. So anyways, a couple areas that price can move for liquidity. We can move below this low and this low, but really I've got my eyes set on 2600, this level down here. I think this is a more significant level. I'd like to see a nice pullback to 2600. If that happens and we can find nice bullish bounce off the top of this purple box or a wick down in this purple box, I would potentially be, if I was trading lots, I'd be looking to go long on it. But right now, been short since right here, so. I'm not in a position, just making that clear, but just from an analysis standpoint, short from this point in time. Again, completely out of the stock market, man. which sucks because if the stock market is bullish, it'll be easier for crypto to surge. But kind of a dual-faceted scenario, man, because anything could happen, man. So that's the classical scenario that if the stock market's bullish, then the crypto markets will be bullish as well, because it'll be, you know, I've heard that like all over the place, right? That's not necessarily true. It's classically true, but again, we're not classic around here. We're reversal traders, counter traders. GBU Wally, man, thanks so much for the $4.99, my good friend. As always, you're one of the good ones, man, and earning your place down there at the bottom. Just over there. That direction. That way. Bottom left-hand corner of the screen, man. Thank you so much, man. You are the man. He says, my request is that you have a wonderful, profitable weekend. Also, learn, earn, and don't get burned. As always, man, you're one of the good ones, man. Thank you so much for your support, my good friend. Thanks, Bitcoin Hunter, man. I appreciate it, man. Jasper says that's bullish, man. All right, so S&P 500 done, knocked out of the park, man. All right, so we've got ADA, XRP, BTC longs, and I think that's probably gonna do it for the show, man. Let's do this. I'm gonna see a big. I know what happens when I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna see a huge white candle of love, man. All right, so ADA was just more bullish than I had originally anticipated, right? So the last time we looked at ADA, I talked about the scenario that I'd like to see to go long on ADA, right? So shout out to anybody who took a momentum long on this. Things are working out well for you guys. Congratulations. I know a couple of guys in the members lines were talking about this or DM me about it. I was a little too busy this weekend to want to put on an active position on something like this, because stuff like this, I don't know. I want to be consistent. I want to be consistent in my analysis. It's not that stuff like this scares me. It's just that this is not my traditional setup, right? I'm always really cautious around support and resistance flip breaks, right? And you can see that this thing just went full on nuclear bullish, right? So again, first profit level that we got coming up is 1666. But let's see, where has price traveled since the break right here? We've gone up about 20%. So listen, here's the only thing I'm going to say about Cardano, right? This is not an area where I would be looking to go long. I want to see a nice pullback on this bullish scenario. If this is going to be like what people are talking about, if this is like long-term bullish case, because again, if we zoom out here, let's go look at the daily here for Cardano. This looks like it could be a very bullish scenario. We have this long period of accumulation. We even see a nice little spring here, whether or not that's a spring, but anyway, just LPS, jump the creek, and then potential breakout, right? So 2 nice days of upside, right? After a nice week of potential bullishness, right? And the last time we talked about Cardano, I pointed out the 2 liquidity zones that I would like to see us tap into before we break support. That didn't happen. We didn't grab either of those areas. This was the stop loss that I had talked about. We didn't grab either of those areas, and then we just went on to the moon. That's cool. We don't have to grab that much liquidity before putting this on. We've always talked about the fact that liquidity can come in as you're looking to broach resistance. But we did talk about upside profit targets of 1666. Coming up above here, the only other area that we would have here for profit taking would be front running this zone right here. Let's see here. I don't know why that line got deleted. I know it was on there. Anyways, 1879, I think that level was actually 1900. But again, that would represent a zone of this liquidity here at previous resistance and this liquidity here at previous support. So I don't want a wide range, because that's the kind of #1 sign of shitty traders, that they have too tight of a range. But anyways, this represents a nice secondary range for taking profits. But ideally, I do still, like, this is my thoughts on ADA, man. I don't like buying into what I think to be the top of a movement. So whether or not this thing rallies up another 50% doesn't matter to me. I don't have anything that tells me to take a trade. Let's actually look at our technical indicators right here. Wadatar is obviously telling you things are good to go. But again, when you see a massive spike like that, let's look at the last few times that's happened, right? And this is just in general. So what do we see from Wadatar right here? We see this just massive longness of awesomeness, right? Let's just go back in time and see every other time that that's happened, right? And I'll circle them on the chart. Brush. What are we on? We're on the daily chart right here. So the last, all right, let me zoom in here a little bit. This is going to be a bit more effective. So we have a spike on April 15th, vertical line. We have a bullish spike on the 27th, 17th of July, 22nd of September, 22nd of December, and now the 22nd of March. Okay. Let's go down here and correlate that. Okay, so here's the first, here's the first volume spike. Here's the second volume spike. Well, it won't let me go to the 17th. That's when it happened. It just goes for the 16th to the 17th. It won't let me. Anyways, we'll take the day before. Okay, whatever. Right there. Right there. And now right here. Okay. So here's the daily chart. So I've lined up those massive bullish volume spikes on Wadatar with actual price action on the days. So let's look here and see. So the first signal that this indicator would have given us, it's not really an indicator, but just the level of analysis that we can look at here. If we look back, so we've got the 15th of April, 2018. What happens? Price met a local top, had about an 8% pullback before it continued on the last leg of its uptrend. Now, this, as you will remember, this was the last dying gasp. I don't know if you guys recall, but back in April, after the decline, after the January-February massive topping of altcoins, we went through a pretty nuclear apocalyptic movement on a lot of them, where we dropped very fast, very fast. And then we saw a little bit of a rally in the spring, right? And a lot of people thought, hey man, it's back in. We're all in, dude. Crypto's going back to all-time highs. Listen, I mean, a lot of charts look like this, right? And people were saying, it's a cup and handle, bro. And we've talked about this before. I don't know any person, like, listen, I've been around the world and I've talked to some of the best traders in the world. I don't know any trader who's profitable that says, hey man, listen guys, see this cup and handle? It's going to the moon. Nobody trades cup and handles who makes money. Nobody. I mean, I'm not saying, I don't like those period statements, but I'm just saying I haven't met a profitable trader who trades a lot of chart patterns. Anyways, I know a few of them. Shout out to them, man, because they are making money despite a massive disadvantage. But anyways, so that was not true. We did actually get a local topping right there. Time transformation also gave us a daily sell signal on that candle. We would have had a little bit, we had another 25% to the upside. So again, nothing to sneeze on. Fantastic movement for any market that you're talking about. The second time that happened with Wadatar, that was actually the topping out. And what happened after the close of that candle, we ended up moving down in the long run, almost 80-90%, another 80-90%. The next one that happened right here was, again, another topping. What happened here, another topping. What happened here, another local top before a little bit of a 12% crash. And then the next one that we got was, actually, that's not correct. Sorry, let's go back and look. I did line that one up because we're actually getting that one today. We're having a huge, massive volume spike now. So could this be Moon Mission 2019? It could, man. It could. But it also could be like, just like every other time we've gotten one of those, where the one time that we got one that wasn't an immediate reversal, price did move up another 25% and then drop 80. Now, do I think that's likely to happen? No, I don't think we're likely to drop 80%. Unless the entire market tanks for some weird reason. Vitam, hey man, thanks so much for the 25 bucks, bro. Highly appreciate it, man. You're one of the best ones, dude. You are one of the best ones. So yeah, I mean, this could be Moon Mission 2019, man, but the likelihood that this gets sold into fairly quickly. All I'm saying is this. I'm not telling you to short ADA. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not short on ADA. I'm going to wait for a actual sign of market reversal. What I am saying is that with price being up, I mean, depending on where you bought in, man, at some point in time, you've got to take some profit off the table and move your stop loss to break even. And then if price continues to run, look to start scaling out your profit, man, and leave some to run for the long run. If you think that this is the moon mission of Cardano 2019 and things like Cardano are leading the market, hey, hats off to you. That's not my personal analysis. But again, I don't really get bogged down with, is price going to go on? Everybody, like every other channel is concerned with, is Bitcoin going to moon? I'm concerned with teaching you guys how to make money today and tomorrow and the next day and the year after that, regardless of whether the market is bullish or bearish. Everybody lost money in the bear market except for real traders, okay? Real traders saw the potential to take short trades, to short everything they could, and that's why you saw all the whale money, for the most part, move over to BitMEX. That is serious trader money, right? You're having the little baby whales that want to sit around and manipulate retail traders on these little like baby bitch exchanges. Totally those guys aren't going to be in it for the long run, right? They're going to get wiped out by market regulation. But traders who are actually doing their thing and shifted over to BitMEX, that's why their volume grew so high. Those are the ones that are going to come back and trade on things like the NASDAQ, the CME, the ACT, for example. While everybody has been, during 2018, while a lot of people have been trying to manipulate price and scam retail traders, real traders have been sharpening their skills in a bear market. And that's what we've been trying to do in Cracking Cryptocurrency for the last 2 years. So I'd be very cautious about this. Not an area at all I'd like to buy. Now, can Cardano be full on bullish? Yes. But what I need to see is I need to see this pullback. I need to see this pullback, and I need to see it hold a higher level of longer term support above the level of 1359, 1400, which was the previous level of significant resistance, right? If we have a pullback and price bottoms above 1359, which would also be congruent here on time transformation with another bottom above the zero line, which we actually got right here. And I should have had my eyes on this, guys, but I did not, right? So here's that bottom above zero, right? That's a continuation trade. Some of the best trades that I've gotten are off continuation trades. So for example, where did that happen? That happened on, where was it confirmed? It was confirmed on the 18th of March. Right here. Okay, so right there, we got that continuation trade off time transformation where we bottom above zero. Some of the best indications, some of the best trades that I've ever taken have been on continuation trades from time transformation. And as you can see, had I been paying attention, I would have gotten a very lucrative entry on that bad boy right there. My eyes were closed for some reason. I missed that one. Whatever, on to the next one. Can't catch every market every time. All right, let's go ahead and delete these bad boys right here. So again, would I short ADA? No. You never want to be that fool that's calling the top in a bull market. You never want to be that fool that's calling the bottom in a bear market. But all I'm saying is that if you are in a long position, congratulations to you. Take some profit and move your stop loss to break even. And we'll see how far this thing can go. I will not be entering to a trade on ADA until I get some indication to enter, which since I already missed the last signal, I can't just jump in. I have to have things align. That's how you actually are able to be profitable, when you don't let your emotions control your trading, when you let your strategy control your trading. But if we, in a general sense, see a nice pullback and anywhere above here, if we top anywhere above 1400 sats, I would be an interested buyer. Now, for the purposes of this, let's go look at Ichimoku on the daily chart, see what we got going on. Actually, we got to look at the 8-hour chart for myself. 8-hour chart, where areas I'd become an interested buyer? Well, we do have the Tenkan-san coming in around 1425 sats. We do have the Kijun coming in around 1345. So what I'd actually be most interested in, actually, if we can see on the 8-hour chart, this is starting to look a little bit toppy. We got to wait now. We've got 1 minute, 11 seconds, 1 minute for the daily candle to close. This actually does look pretty toppy. I'm not going to lie. Now that I look at this on a lower time frame. So we've had such a tear, man. The volume profile is going to be weak. The next area that I see for a pullback is actually going to be somewhere like this. So listen, man, I take that back. Take that back. If you were a rambling, gambling man, this wouldn't be a bad area to enter. Potentially for sure. I gotta wait for the confirmed cross under to take the 8-hour signal. Since I'm not getting that on the current candle, I would only be going off price action analysis. That's not enough for me to take a trade. Shout out to you guys if you want to be a little bit more speculative than me. That's absolutely fine. But if we do top from here, guys, because this is a pretty bearish looking 8-hour candle, I would see price coming back here at least 10% to around 1433. That's the 8-hour Tenkan-san. It's also congruent with the 8-hour Chiku Span as well. The way that I zero lag my my Chiku Span out, the way that I programmed it into my Ichimoku indicator, if you unlag it, right, which is a setting right here, so smooth the Chiku Span, lagging span, it actually acts as a great level of previous support. Where would I manage risk? Where I entering into a trade here? Again, I manage risk the same way every time. Short stop loss, 1663. So 8-hour signal, 1663. We're talking about slippage of about almost 5%, 4.77% from current price. So position size appropriately, guys, just because, and again, it doesn't matter if you take a 20% stop loss or a 50% stop loss, just make sure your position size is the right size. Again, talk about this, we teach this in Discord. All right, so the new 8-hour candle open, it's an opening bearish. So be careful, guys. But if we do top from here, guys, I don't see the next, I don't see us being held up anywhere between here and potentially here. This is where I'd take 50% of profit off the table. Actually, I'd take 50% of profit off the table at ATR. So 1531. 1531 is where I'd take profit off the table. About 3.45% is where I'd start taking profit off the table. But anyway, guys, it's not the trade that I want to take because I don't have the indications setting up for me. But again, stars do look pretty aligned. Stars do look pretty aligned. Jasper, my bad, bro. Here, let me look at these ZERP BTC longs real quick. Having these adult privileges, man. Let me look at these ZERP BTC longs real quick, bro, and then it is 7:01. I gotta go, man. It's movie night, take 2 with the ZERP BTC longs, man. Sorry, let's take Ishimoku off. We're gonna look at the daily. ZERP BTC longs look pretty good, man. This is actually a pretty, I wouldn't say a tremendous sign, but if we correlate that with what ZERP BTC is doing, again, I'm fundamentally short on ZERP BTC, man. So what we've got, ZERP BTC longs, man. What it's showing is that a lot of people are trying to buy the dip. And significantly buy the dip harder than they've tried to buy the dip before. So if we actually go over here to ZERP BTC longs right here. Yeah, ZERP BTC longs at previous all-time highs. Now, this is kind of interesting, man. This is actually not a bad sign for ZERP, I wouldn't say. Because you've got longs, so you've got sentiment very, very high and been growing very high as price has been going down. And you don't have a lot of exiting of positions, right? You've just got that level consistently and slowly growing up. Let's go look at the, what I actually am interested in is the longs to shorts ratio. What I want to be looking at. And the longs shorts ratio is 4.52, man. So a high level of longs to shorts. Now, when that happens at the top of an uptrend, you want to be very, very hesitant, meaning you're having irrational exuberance. But when you see this at the bottom of a down structure, I mean, here you get the daily sell signal, you get the daily buy signal on ZERP BTC longs versus shorts back here in November of 2018. And then you've gotten multiple sell signals, and every time it's led to a market reversal, right? So you can do technical analysis on sentiment data. Whoever says that you can't is silly. Because they provide some excellent signals. I mean, this time transformation just doing beautiful work on the daily chart right here, which will, if you put the time and the grind in with your indicators to adjust it to the right settings, I've just set time transformation to have a good default on just about everything. But yeah, it's killing it right here on the daily chart. So I would actually say that doesn't look too bad, to be honest with you, for a fundamental look at ZERP long. The reason why is because I'm looking at this really juicy trade down to 7,000 sats, to be honest with you, man. And I'm going to go ahead and hold that short open until I see signs of reversal. But because they've been trying to buy the dip for a while and price continue to move down. But the fact that price is moving down fairly precipitously, and now we've cashed into a fairly significant, let me look at this for a little bit, actually. You would have a pretty significant atypical support resistance flip here around like the 7,500. Actually, you got quite a bit of ways down to go. So I think that the likely price can continue down here to about 7,000 before you actually see that reversal. That would be atypical, but the markets are not atypical. You actually do see 3 days of flatness here on the ZERP BTC chart. So I don't know. I wouldn't put off a bad long position. TT has not done amazingly well at calling great trades here. On the daily chart for ZERP BTC, but of course we trade the 8-hour chart here at Kraken Cryptocurrency. A little bit better and cleaner signals here, as you can see here on the 8-hour chart. So let's see here. We might actually here pretty soon have an indication to go long on this. We do have ZERP BTC crossing above the 0 line right here. We have to be careful about the coiling. We have regular bullish divergence here. Wadatar is not telling us we can go yet. Let's see where we are in relation to Shimoku. Yeah, we're still being held down by the Tenkan-san. So I'd like to see some more bullish confirmation. I got to see Wadatar above the explosion level and to confirm the trending trade right here. And I got to see us above the Tenkan-san. But then I would only have 2 of 3 stars aligned because we're still bearish on the Ichimoku. But you could potentially take that reversal trade if you want. So I actually think those longs to shorts ratios actually look pretty good, even though price looks really bearish. So that's kind of a nice counter trend indicator right there, man. When you look at that longs to shorts ratio. Doesn't mean they're right. The market's often wrong. But when you see longs skyrocket at the top of a downtrend, that can be signs of accumulation. That's generally signs of accumulation. And if anything was going to do it, ZERP wouldn't surprise me too. I'll remain bearish on it. I'll actually remain in my current short position until I get proven wrong, but we'll see. All right, man. No, Khalil, you're good, man. Keep it up, bro. All right, man. So we gotta jet out, guys. It's been a good show, man. So let me scroll up here and see if I see if I lost anything, man. What's going on, Red 5 Golf Gunny, man? Mr. Etherman, thank you guys so much for your support. Vitam Infandero Vero, guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support. Khalil, Crypto, Matt Dandaram. I think we might dump the market here. Hell yeah, dude. No, Khalil, you do not chat too much, man. Mr. Etherman, thank you so much, bro. Highly appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much for the BAT donations, guys. As always, man. Mr. Ether, you've been one of our longer-term supporters, man, and I appreciate the support as well, man. And I think I repeat myself because maybe I'm not comfortable with like taking at a rough childhood. But no, thank you, man. You're one of the good ones, man. I love all you guys. It's a great show, man. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for tuning out every day, guys. We'll be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sorry, I didn't want to be like slapping that. Probably just bounced you guys away from the mic. End of show stuff, guys. Make sure you guys head on over to freemmo.crackingcryptocurrency.com for your opportunity to win 5,000 MMO coin. Of course, you guys can check out mmopro.org for their gaming community and forum website, mmocoin.pro for information, and mmocoin.shop if you guys would like to purchase goods and services with your MMO, and if you'd like to sign up to be a marketplace member as well, guys. You guys can check out the newest stuff from us on the blog at crackingcryptocurrency.com/blog, but more importantly, make sure you guys go to discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com and join us. Join the community, guys. We got some great stuff going on there. We've got great resources if you're a trader. We've got some of the best. Volume scanning little bots and tools and tips and tricks and all the stuff you could possibly need down in the lower left-hand corner. We've got AlphaBot. We've got all kinds of cool stuff in there, guys, as well as a community. I'm sure you're going to find somebody that trades like you. And again, we've got that technical analysis community channel in there. So if you guys have an idea, have a chart, I think it's pretty easy for somebody to give you critical feedback, which I think is so lacking. And that's why you need a community, because I think the reason that people like become weird is because they don't have somebody to give them feedback. So you need somebody to give you feedback and tell you if you're right or you're wrong. That's the only way that you're going to grow. Growth is painful. We got to put in the time. We got to put in that grind, guys. So you guys know what to do, man. Go out there and get it, guys. So until tomorrow, guys, make sure you trade safely. The question of the day is, what do you guys think about the fake volume? Do you guys think that this report is accurate? Do you think that 95% of volume is faked? Do you think they should have included Korean exchanges, which they did not in their analysis? Do you think that it's all good? We don't even care if they lie. We just want to get this damn ETF approved. You know, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, comments, and opinions. If you just wait a few minutes, you can leave your comment in the section down below. I will leave one random comment or a crypto tip, guys, or carry the conversation on the Discord, man. Hopefully today has helped crack cryptocurrency for you. Until tomorrow, guys, I've been Justin Wise. Make sure you guys trade safely. Peace out.